Hi everyone, I'd like to introduce to you today my new top fin Indulge 3-gallon tank. And because it's only a 3-gallon tank, despite what is depicted on the front of the box, I would say that this is more suitable for a single betta or perhaps 2 and at most 3 small fish. And here is the tank itself. The dimensions of the tank are 13.4 inches in length, 6.85 inches in width, and 9 inches in height. And for those of you where these dimensions do not mean much, here is the tank next to a 460-gram box of oatmeal crisp. Here is the same box of cereal next to the side of the tank. The lid of the tank is quite minimalist in design, which I really like. If you look at it from the side, you can see how thin the lid actually is. At the top of the tank, you will see the feeding hole, and also this is the easy change mechanism that is also connected to your pump filtration system. At the back, you will see a small hole where cables can come out. This includes the cable for the lighting and also for the pump. Once we flip the lid upside down, you can see the 6 LED lights that are part of the lighting system. Now, let's dive into the filtration system itself. On the left, the filter comes with a replaceable filter cartridge. The specific model number of the filter cartridge is shown here. However, I really dislike using these replaceable cartridges because all of the beneficial bacteria that have been slowly growing on the filter, which are involved in the breakdown of waste products, are then thrown out. Instead, I like to place a bag of filter media in the filter area, which have a very large porous surface area to allow for lots of beneficial bacteria to grow. A small divider which holds the filter cartridge at an angle creates a separate chamber where the pump is located. This forces water through the filter prior to being pumped back out. The small divider does not extend all the way to the bottom of the tank. This allows for water to enter the left grills, which then travels down and joins the water which enters from the lower grills prior to being pushed through the filter cartridge. However, this type of filtration system does not remove any of the debris or waste that accumulates at the bottom of the tank. If you plan on removing the right half of the filtration system, which is actually possible, just make a note that there are 2 small clips, one here on the left and one here on the right, that clips this upper piece in place. And on the right side, where you can see the cable entering the right chamber, there is a slight hole or space that is still available right over here that can potentially allow for a second cable, power cable, to thread through and potentially allow you to hide a small heater. So now I'm actually going to remove the right chamber so that you can take a peek into how the filtration system works and to also get an understanding of how the hydro change technology mechanism functions to allow for these quick water changes. So I have unclipped that right piece already, allowing for me to slide this out relatively easily. If we take a look at this further, you can see the submersible pump connected to it. And for those of you who are actually interested in the specifications of the submersible pump, it is shown here with a maximum flow rate of 55 gallons per hour. In terms of the mechanism for the hydro change component, it's actually quite smart, and it's all based on this piece right here. When you are removing the nozzle by lifting it up, it actually introduces this big gap in the path where the water flows, resulting in a break of the seal, and water will then instead travel back out of this hole and not up the hose. With the pump removed, it is a little bit easier to see what the inside chamber looks like. Over here, from top to bottom, there is a gap where after the water goes through, it would then normally go through the filter cartridge, which sits diagonal, and then it'll go through the pump system. And with a bucket in hand, I will now show you how the hydro change technology works. Now if you pull it up, you can see that the water has stopped flowing, and if we turn it on its side and push back down, and when you're done, just simply turn this back in, push it back down, and there you have it. Two minor issues that I have with this tank arises from the bottom layer. The first, as you can see here, is the less than stellar siliconizing job at the corner of the tank. You can see a bit of the glue that is still sticking out from the corner, but it's a pretty minor cosmetic issue. Secondly, as you can see here, it is a plastic bottom. Now, I haven't read any reviews that indicate that this is an issue, but I have seen some other lower quality tanks that have a plastic bottom, including ones from Topfin, where reviewers have indicated that there have been leak issues. So it may not be an issue with this tank specifically, but it is a potential cause of concern. Unfortunately, the biggest problem with the tank, which may actually result in me returning this, is the fact that the pump is actually pretty loud. Despite my best efforts in trying to reduce the vibrations by adjusting the pump, believing that perhaps the pump was actually rattling directly against the glass or the plastic, the best I could do still resulted in a noise that was much louder than the Fluval Flex that I have as well.